Lord, it's the first application seeking bail under section 439. The applicant, Lord, happens to be a lady 63 years of age who's been apprehended by the authorities on 29/8. Lord, I'll come to the crux of the allegation that is levelled against me. The case of the prosecution, Lord, is that on some, am I audible to your Lordship?
Yes, sir.
But on some source information, the authorities got some RTO agents apprehended and questioned them. On questioning, on repeated questioning, these RTO agents revealed that they are in possession of certain medical certificates signed allegedly by certain doctors so as to facilitate the renewal of license of people who are over 40 years of age. Now, on the not such information by the RTO agents, one Feroz Khan is an RTO agent, was apprehended by the authorities. He took the authorities to his office, and from there, certain not 4 papers were received, 4 papers were seized, which apparently bore my signature. 4 blank papers carrying on my letterhead or carrying my name were seized. Now the case of the prosecution, Lord, this happens to be under section 420, 67, 68 and other cognate sections of the Act, 129 with 120B and 470. Lord, my first submission is that taking everything that the prosecution says to be entirely correct and absolutely the gospel truth, no offence can be said to be made out under 420, 67, 68. 67, 68, 71, Lord, as your Lordship would be pleased to agree, speaks of forgery. The question that I put to myself is how can I possibly forge my own signatures? That is the first submission. Secondly, Lord, assuming that these certificates were apprehended or seized by the authorities from Feroz Khan's office. Now, Feroz in his statement going by their FIR says that these certificates were given by one Lalit Jain to him. He does not name me. This Lalit Jain, I am open to correction by my learned friend, has apparently not been arrested by the authorities. So, therefore, it is for Feroz Khan to establish as to how did he come into possession of my letterheads. I can't be held responsible for an incriminating material which happens to be in somebody else's possession. Feroz has not taken my name. There are no call records to establish a connection between me and Feroz because he himself says he doesn't know me. He says I got them from a Lalit Jain. Unless Lalit Jain makes a statement not come before the authorities, I cannot be apprehended. It's a premature not accusation which is levelled against me. My third submission, Lord, is that she is a 63-year-old lady. Now, keeping her 63-year-old lady, Lord, for more than 15 days have passed since she's been arrested by the authorities. She was called to the police station. I was not even absconding. She was requested to come to the police station to participate in the investigation where she was arrested. And then she was not put before the magistrate. Not the another redeeming feature is that the police did not ask for any police remand also, which can not conclusively therefore be said that there is no seizure which needs to be done at my instance, no recovery needs to be done at my instance, my custodial interrogation is now not required. Otherwise, at least 1 day remand should have been sought by the authorities. The moment I was produced, they said we do not need a police remand, the honour may send her to a judicial custody. Lord, I was sent to judicial custody. Lord, my fourth submission, Lord, is that except the statement of Feroz that these forms were seized, there is nothing against me. And Lord, moreover, I filed one document along with my application. Lord, may not refer to page number 28, 21 of my compilation. This will not clinch the issue in my respectful submission. Your Lordship has page number 21. Yes, Lord. Lord, of the compilation which I had filed on 2/9, Lord. Now, Lord, this happens to be a medical certificate. Your Lordship. Now, Lord, on the second page, Your Lordship will please to find page number 22 at the bottom. The note, Lord. The note which is appended reads, the medical officer shall affix his signature. This is important. What am I supposed to do as an applicant, not as a doctor? The medical officer shall affix his signature over the photograph in such a manner that part of his signature is upon the photograph affixed and part on the certificate. So therefore, a blank letterhead or a letter or a blank sign on a medical certificate is of no consequence unless the certificate bears the photograph of the applicant who applies for a renewal of a license, and I cross sign it in such a manner where half the signature comes on the photograph and half comes on the paper. So this document per se without the cross signature on the photograph is of no consequence. It has no value at all. That is not the case of the prosecution. So I was not even facilitating the issuance or renewal of a license of a more than 40-year-old man. And 15 days not as I said.
This license renewal is of what license?
Yeah, not driving license. Driving license.
RTO driving license.
RTO driving license, not which I don't want to say it, but we all know how driving licenses are made. Rarely somebody.
For the purpose of renewal of driving license, this medical certificate is required.
Yes, Lord.
And the allegation is that she was facilitating preparation of those medical.
No, not the allegation is not I was facilitating. The allegation is of forgery. 67, 68 and 71 is cheating. Now the question that I put to myself, who was I cheating? And whom did I fabricate the documents for? In all fairness, Lord.
The fabrication could not take place. It was a blank document until and unless it is prepared.
Yes, Lord. I completely bow down to my observation, Lord. Carrying this, Lord, logic a little further, there are 3 stages of commission of an offence: conception, preparation, and commission. Conception of a crime is not an offence. Nobody can find out. I can conceive, commit a crime. I can also prepare to commit a crime. If I am carrying a license gun in my pocket, I could be a potential killer. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I am going to commit an offence. It's only the execution or the commission of an offence which is made an offence under the provisions of the IPC. So this document, even if it was seized in the manner it was seized, is of no consequence, Lord. It has no value at all. That's my submission. And 63-year-old lady.
मतलब the seal and signed documents of the present applicant were seized from the agent Firoz. Firoz has in his statement mentioned that he was provided these documents by one Lalit, who is still absconding, my lord. Now, my lord, the statement of present applicant was also recorded, and the statement of Firoz is both are important, my lord, if may I read with the permission of. Lord, first I am reading the statement of Firoz, who is the agent. ने अपने कथन में बताया, उपरोक्त पते पर रहता हूं तथा आरटीओ एजेंट का काम करता हूं। मेरा आरटीओ रोड पर फिरोज ऑनलाइन नाम से ऑफिस है। आरटीओ में लाइसेंस रिन्यूअल में 40 साल से ऊपर की उम्र के व्यक्तियों के लिए एमबीबीएस डॉक्टर का प्रमाणित मेडिकल फिटनेस सर्टिफिकेट की भी आवश्यकता होती है, जिसमें ग्राहकों के द्वारा कई बार हमें बोल दिया जाता है कि आप ही बनवा दीजिए। उक्त सर्टिफिकेट ललित जैन, हु इज स्टिल अब्सकॉन्डिंग, माय लॉर्ड, हु प्रोवाइडेड, ने डॉक्टर रेखा भाटिया एमबीबीएस के खाली सील लगे देता है, जो उनमें अपने कस्टमर के नाम भरकर तथा साइन कर आरटीओ में लाइसेंस रिन्यूअल के लिए लगा देता था। मैं अब तक ललित द्वारा दिए हुए मेडिकल सर्टिफिकेट से लगभग 300-400 लाइसेंस रिन्यू करवा चुका हूं। मेरी दुकान पर और भी खाली सील व हस्ताक्षर किए हुए फॉर्म रखें। नाउ माय लॉर्ड, द स्टेटमेंट ऑफ द प्रेजेंट एप्लीकेंट इज आल्सो रिलेवेंट, माय लॉर्ड। मैरिड विद दैट ने अपने कथन में बताया कि मैं उपरोक्त पते पर रहती हूं तथा पेशे से डॉक्टर हूं। मेरा जन्म लेफ्टिनेंट डिफेंस कराची पाकिस्तान में मेरा जन्म हुआ है। मैं वर्ष 1983 तक कराची में रही। इस दौरान मैं डॉक्टर की डिग्री कर रही थी, चूँकि मेरा सर्जरी के एग्जाम में फेल हो गई थी। वर्ष 1983 में मेरी अनिल भाटिया जी से शादी हो गई और मैं इंदौर आ गई। फिर मैं वापस कराची डाउ मेडिकल कॉलेज में एग्जाम देने गई थी और फिर पास होने के बाद मुझे वर्ष 1985-86 में डाउ मेडिकल कॉलेज कराची से एमबीबीएस की डिग्री प्राप्त हुई। मैंने मेडिकल काउंसिल में इंडिया में अपनी डिग्री का रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं कराया था। मैं वर्ष 1989 से इंदौर मध्य प्रदेश में अपनी डॉक्टरी की प्रैक्टिस कर रही हूँ। मेरा क्लिनिक डॉक्टर रेखा भाटिया के नाम से 523 कल्याण नगर इंदौर में है। मैं वर्ष 2016 से अपनी क्लिनिक पर जनरल पेशेंट का इलाज करती हूँ। लगभग 8-9 महीने पहले मेरे पेशेंट आनंद, जो कि क्लिनिक पर आता था, उसने मेरे परिचय ललित जैन से कराया कि मेरा मित्र है। तब से ललित जैन से मेरा परिचय हो गया। ललित जैन उसके बाद मेरी क्लिनिक पर आता जाता रहा है। इसी दौरान उसने मुझे बताया कि मैं आरटीओ में एजेंट का काम करता हूँ। आरटीओ में कुछ ग्राहकों के कार ड्राइविंग के लाइसेंस के लिए डॉक्टर की सील साइन की ज़रूरत है, तो आप अपनी सील व हस्ताक्षर कर कीजिए, आपका जो भी खर्चा होगा दे दूंगा। उसके बाद ललित जैन मेरे पास करीबन कई बार मेडिकल फॉर्म लेकर आया। ललित जैन ने मुझसे करीबन 100 के आसपास खाली मेडिकल सर्टिफिकेट सील व हस्ताक्षर कराए हैं। जब भी ललित जैन मेरे पास फॉर्म व सील हस्ताक्षर कराने आता था, मुझे 200 रुपये देता था। आज पुलिस ने मुझे जो फॉर्म दिखाए उन पर मेरी सील है, मैंने ही हस्ताक्षर किए हैं। मुझे जानकारी मिली कि ललित ने मेरे घर के पीछे ही रहता है। यही मेरा कथन है। माय लॉर्ड, द इन्वेस्टिगेशन इज स्टिल पेंडिंग रिगार्डिंग द जेन्युइननेस ऑफ द डिग्री एंड द लाइसेंस ऑफ प्रेजेंट एप्लीकेंट, वेदर इट इज जेन्युइन और नॉट, बिकॉज शी हैज नॉट ट्रांसफर्ड और शी हैज नॉट गेट हरसेल्फ रजिस्टर्ड इन इंडिया फॉर मेडिकल प्रैक्टिस, माय लॉर्ड. So that is also under investigation whether the MBBS degree is genuine or not, which has been obtained from Pakistan. And apart from that, my lord, trial court has also observed in its order that investigation is still pending. Some charges may be altered, my lord. This is also the observation of trial court. Its investigation is at its preliminary stage, my lord.
A very small note reply. One note: these statements are under 161. Apart from being incriminating in nature, which are hit by subclause 3 of Article 20, wherein nobody can be forced to make an incriminating statement, they are hit by Section 162 also, which make them inadmissible in evidence. And this is the first time I am reading. I am not seeing a statement by an accused being read in the case of a prosecution. But ordinarily, it is the prosecution witnesses who support a statement. Secondly, not the fact that I did my MBBS from Pakistan or I did not do my MBBS is not the allegation. The crux of the allegation in the FIR has nothing to do with it. But in fact, if one goes to the trial court order, I was not halfway through the order. One feels that the trial court is inclined to grant bail. It is only last 3 lines that the trial court has not refused to grant bail. The entire order reads in a manner wherein it sees, it shows that there is a possibility of bail being granted by the only trial court. All that the trial court sees is investigation is pending. Yes, it is pending, not. But the question that I put to myself is, why is my custodial interrogation necessary? And brought your lordship may put any stringent condition on that 63-64-year-old lady who's never absolutely no criminal antecedent, at least that my learned friend would agree. Participate in the investigation, make herself available at any point of time. Lord.